Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. 1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The armed forces displayed their professionalism and military prowess at the spectacular Pakistan Day military parade in Islamabad today. Addressing the parade, the President said Pakistan extends a message of goodwill to regional countries for common prosperity, but it must not be misconstrued as its weakness. The foreign minister says trade and economic window between Pakistan and Hungary will strengthen cooperation in a number of areas, including energy and information technology. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, senior Hurriyat leader Professor Abdul Ghani Bhatt says amicable solution of the Kashmir dispute is vital for peace and prosperity in the region. In India, complete strike Bharat Bandh will be observed tomorrow on the appeal of farmers protesting against the controversial agriculture laws. Foreign ministers of France, Germany and Italy are in Libya to extend support to the newly formed unity government. And now the news in detail. The three wings of the armed forces displayed the professionalism and military prowess at the spectacular Pakistan Day military parade held at the Parade Avenue in Islamabad today. The impressive ceremony started with the flypast of fighter jets of the Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan Navy, led by the Air Chief Air Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babar Sidhu, presenting salute to the chief guest President Dr. Arif Alvi. Formations of fighter jets, including F-16, JF-17, Mirage, AVAX, C-130 and P-3C Orion participated in the flypast. Contingents of the Pakistan Army, Pakistan Navy, Pakistan Air Force, Special Services Groups, Frontier Corps, Rangers, Islamabad Police, Frontier Constabulary, Airport Security Force and Boy Scouts marched past the dais, presenting salute to the chief guest. Mechanized columns including tanks, armored personnel carriers, rocket launchers, air defense system, radars, indigenously built, unmanned air vehicles and short and long-range missiles, Raad, Nasser, Babar, Ghaznavi and Shaheen were showcased on the occasion. The engineering corps presented its state-of-the-art equipment. A Turkish military band on the occasion presented different tunes, including that of Dil Dil Pakistan, Jan Jan Pakistan. Floats depicting culture of Jammu and Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan and the four provinces also were a major attraction. The skydivers of the forces, including the paratroopers of Bahrain, Iraq, Palestine, Sri Lanka and Turkey, exhibited free fall carrying national flags and those of the services. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, says Pakistan believes in promoting cooperation in South Asia, which is already facing hindrances in development due to mutual conflicts and discords. Addressing the military parade in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan extends a message of goodwill to regional countries for common prosperity, but its intentions must not be misconstrued as a weakness. The President said in case of any misadventure, Pakistan is capable of thwarting back with full force. The March 23rd Pakistan Day parade, which was rescheduled for today due to inclement weather, was attended by civil and military leaders, parliamentarians and foreign dignitaries. Dr. Arif Alvi said the goal of national and regional development can only be achieved in the environment of peace and by refraining from all kinds of aggression and exploitation. Voicing serious concern of the human rights situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the President says resolution of the Kashmir dispute is imperative for ensuring peace in the South Asian region. He said the entire Pakistani nation stands by the Kashmiri brothers and sisters in this hour of trial. President Alvi said that Pakistan enjoys very close and friendly relations with China and intends to further strengthen these ties in the fields of defense, economy, and diplomacy. Prime Minister Imran Khan has felicitated all the three wings of the armed forces and organizers for holding a successful parade event in connection with the Pakistan Day in Islamabad. In a message today, the Prime Minister said all troops of the armed forces in friendly countries have presented wonderful performance at the event. He said culture of all the provinces, including Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, was presented in the form of a bouquet. Pakistan and Hungary have launched the trade and economic window for collaboration in diverse fields and explore joint ventures. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and his Hungarian counterpart Peter Szijjártó virtually launched the online platform today. Speaking on the occasion, Shah Mahmood Qureshi said the initiative would strengthen cooperation between the two countries in a number of areas, including energy, alternative energy, information technology, food and tourism. He said promotion of high-level ties between the two countries will increase the volume of bilateral trade. He said Pakistan has also eased visa requirements and businessmen, including those from Hungary, can avail visa on arrival facility. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Climate Change, Malik Amin Aslam, has said a process has been initiated for rolling out a viable national adaptation plan for boosting the country's climate resilience. Speaking at an online Project Inception workshop, he said the process includes 10 billion trees tsunami plantation program, the Ecosystem Restoration Fund, and the Recharge Pakistan initiative. The Special Assistant expressed the hope that the country's national adaptation plan, to be formed in consultation with relevant national and international stakeholders, will help reduce the country's vulnerabilities to climate impacts. This is Radio Pakistan. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, senior Hurriyat leader Professor Abdul Ghani Bhatt has said amicable resolution of the Kashmir dispute is vital for peace and prosperity in the region. Professor Abdul Ghani Bhatt was addressing a meeting at Wazir Bagh in Srinagar. He also welcomed the peace gestures shown by Pakistan and India. Meanwhile, in a statement in Srinagar, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference General Secretary Maulvi Bashir Ahmed deplored that India is employing brutal tactics to intimidate the Kashmiri people and force them to stop pursuing the freedom struggle. 3 Indian troops were also killed when unidentified gunmen fired upon a party of Indian Central Reserve Police Force in Lavepura area of Srinagar today. Immediately after the attack, the Indian troops and police personnel cordoned off the area and launched searches to nab the attackers. In India, a complete strike with blockade of road and rail transport would be observed tomorrow on the appeal of farmers protesting bodies against the 3 central farm laws introduced by the Modi government. A coalition of farmers' unions, Samyukta Kisan Morcha, has appealed to the citizens to make the 26th March Bharat Bandh a complete success. Former leader Bhuta Singh Burjgil said they are observing the Bandh on a day when the farmers' protests will reach the 4th month. He said the peaceful Bandh will remain effective from morning till evening. Foreign ministers of France, Germany and Italy are in Tripoli to meet the interim Prime Minister of Libya, Abdulhamid Dibeiba, today in a show of support for the newly formed unity government. The visit of the 3 European diplomats comes 10 days after the formation of the interim government to lead Libya to 24th December elections. Meanwhile, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah Sisi and the head of Libya's Presidency Council, Mohammed al-Manfi, have agreed to reopen the Egyptian embassy in Tripoli. The United States has decided to impose sanctions on Myanmar military companies after deadly crackdown against the protesters. The move by the American Treasury to blacklist Myanmar's Economic Corporation and Myanmar Economic Holdings Limited and freeze their assets could come into effect from today. Meanwhile, security forces have released hundreds of people imprisoned by demonstrating against the coup. And finally, cricket. A 35-member Pakistan cricket team will depart for Johannesburg, South Africa tomorrow after all members of the squad tested negative for coronavirus. According to Pakistan Cricket Board, the national team will play 3 one-day matches, which are part of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Super League from 2nd to 7th of April and 4 T20 internationals from 10th to 16th of April. The Pakistan team will then depart for Harare, Zimbabwe for 3 T20s and 2 test matches before returning home on 12th of May. And finally, the weather. Dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours, and that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.